Hello, my name's Henry, and welcome back to my channel. I just scared my dog with my intro. I'm so sorry. So sorry, Chilla. I didn't mean to scare you, baby. Welcome back to my channel, and I hope you've all had wonderful holidays over the winter season. And I all bless you all with a lovely and wonderful and incredible new year. And as you can tell from my screen, I'm really missing theme parks and most importantly Alton Towers. I have been sitting and watching ride videos on YouTube a lot recently. Just like, wow, I need to. I just every so often I just miss certain rides and I sit and watch them like over and over again. I'm like, I need. Oh wow, I can't wait for March to come round. So all the theme parks all open again. I can get myself on a coaster. So this video is going to be a video I've been wanting to do, and I kind of started it like ages ago, and it just never got done. So I'm going to do it. So everyone's always done this kind of video, like their top 10. I'm going to do my own top 10, and I'm going to talk about each ride individually and why I like them, and so on and so forth. I'm going to talk about the accessibility of each ride as well. So my number 10 it's actually a joint 10th for two different reasons. One is Rita, and the other joint 10th is Congo River Rapids. So Rita is a must-do, I would say, for roller coaster enthusiasts. Yes and no, kind of. I mean, if you've never rode it, if you've gone to Alton Towers for the first time ever, and you've never rode Rita before, give it a shot, I would suppose. I say, leave it towards the end of the day. It's not my big list to do, but I mean, if you've never done it before, do it, because there's a lot of people out there who do love Rita, weirdly enough. I mean, it's always like 50-50 with people who enjoy it. I find it, there's been some rides I've had on it that are rough, but not because of the track, but because of, or the ride itself, but because of the train. Also, they give you like somewhat wrong instructions with Rita of how to sit on it. They tell you to sit back and have your head back and your shoulders and all that. And I find that that's really uncomfortable, and that's when you're going to be head banging. If you want a more comfortable ride, kind of sit normally, but not too front forward. Otherwise, your head's going to be pushed forward. Weirdly enough, just kind of let yourself go backwards and then fall forwards into your over shoulder straps. So yeah, it's one of those things where the general public really enjoy her, but like most enthusiasts don't. But like again, it's 50-50. I think she's iconic in her own right. But she's yes and no. I don't know. It's a difficult. So that's number 10A. Number 10B, I'm saying Congo River Rapids purely for the more accessible part. Getting on and off the rapids isn't accessible, especially if you're a wheelchair user or very limited mobility. But if you can manage to get through like small queuing spaces and go up and down stairs and get on a exit that's moving like on a turnstile platform that's constantly moving, then yeah, sure, go for it. Like, apart from like a few bumps and because of the accident at Drayton Manor, everyone's River Rapids ride, every single theme park, they've had to dial up their health and safety stuff. So the Congo River Rapids have not been the same for the last 3, maybe 4 years or so, and it's incredibly slower now. So, and there's no, like, the waterfalls are all off and all the sorry, I've got a bit of a cold, so that's why I'm constantly sounding a bit shitty and I'm rubbing my nose and all that. So, but all the water extras are all off, kind of thing, and like, it's just one of those things, like, hey baby, where it's just like, what can you do? It's a smooth ride. If you want something to do that's smooth and gentle and not going to cause you too much pain, it's difficult to get on and off though. Whilst Rita, they really do help you out with getting on and off the roller coaster, which is fair enough. But Rita is not good for pain management. If you're good with pain management and pretty much, I'd say if you're good with pain management, then go on Rita. It's like if you just can't queue up and all that. But like, yeah, it depends what your disability or illness is. I suppose I can't tell you what to do for everyone. I can only go on my own opinion. Obviously, this entire list is my own personal list and opinion. This isn't an official top 10 ride list, as other people might have different opinions of where different rides go where and all that kind of thing, and not everyone's a thrill seeker or likes roller coasters and so on and so forth. And this list may not even apply to you, as you may not be of age to go on these rides. Yeah, so you get the general idea. But okay, so number 9. What did I put for number 9? Oh yeah, Runaway Mine Train. So Runaway Mine Train. Yeah, I think to me, Runaway Mine Train's like a legendary ride. It's because it's I think it's the oldest roller coaster at the park at the moment. Still, it's like almost 30 odd years old. Well, almost 30 years old. It's just a classic mine train ride. It's one of those nostalgic rides. It's not like a fast roller coaster. It's not terribly slow either. There's a lot of nice interactions between yourself and between the Runaway Mine Train and the Congo River Rapids. There's a lot of like times where you get to interact with other people, like the people watching and all that kind of thing. Well, onlookers, that's the proper word. You get to go around twice, sometimes 3 times if it's really quiet. I mean, there isn't terribly a lot of theming, but it's a really nice, lovely ride, especially for kids or young people or people who are still trying to get into like thrill rides and such. It's like a nice step up ride from kiddie coasters and junior coasters to Runaway Mine Train. Technically, a Runaway Mine Train is a family coaster. It is for everyone. It's a nice, fun ride. The fact that it's been there for 30 years means that both myself and plenty of other theme park and roller coaster and Aunt Towers and Merlin enthusiasts grew up with this ride. I grew up with this ride as being one of the like major rides I used to go on a lot as a kid. It used to be one of the first roller coasters I ever went on as a kid. Like, apart from like little kiddie coasters and such, this was like a first major coaster I ever went on, and I have a lot of good memories of riding it with my mum or my cousin or nan and granddad and so on and so forth. I have a lot of good memories and so it's just, when I ride it, it fills me up with nostalgia. And so that's number 9. Pain-wise, it's not bad. Of course, it's really smooth and somewhat not slow, but like moderately fast, I suppose. It's not bad, you know. I'm not too sure on the speed. I need to look it up, but it's fun for everyone. So it's not Chinnery snoring. I'm so sorry. The disabled entrance is through the shop. Getting on and off the roller coasters easy enough, but the seats are very small because they are aimed for children. So if you're okay with being a little bit squished, that's all good. If you can deal with being squished, that's the only thing that's going to give you pain, I would say. So number 8. What did I put for number 8? Let's have a look at my screenshots. Number 8 is Hex. So here we are. Number 8 is Hex. So why is Hex so good? I think Hex is such a good ride because again I'm gonna say it's iconic. It has a huge good history behind it. I remember it opening in 2002. I'd only been about 3, but I have vivid memories of it. I remember people queuing for hours to get on Hex, thinking it's going to be a big thrill. It's not a big thrill ride, and it's really good for accessibility, I would say. Unless you're a wheelchair user, it's not bad for accessibility as long as you can stand up for about 10 minutes. That's the only thing. It's not... The ending is a ride. It's like in 3 sections. So for 2 of those sections, you have to stand up for a bit. And that's a pain in the ass. But if you can stand up for about 10 minutes or so, you're good. If you can't, just make sure you've either rested beforehand or rested afterwards. I would say it's really worth giving it a go, and if you're in pain afterwards, just resting for a few hours. If you can't do it, then don't bother. Just, honestly, don't bother. Watch it on YouTube or something. Honestly, watch it on YouTube, and you see what it is. It's just a madhouse ride. I'm not going to go into any more details of what happens with a madhouse ride. Just kind of Google it. But I love it so much. It means so much to me as a kid because it's it's kind of a nostalgic ride for me. But I only started riding it when I was 13, 14. But when I was about 12 at high school, I used to be so obsessed with Vaughan Towers. I used to go on the website. I used website every day. I used to go on sub websites like Tower Times every day. I used to go on forums every day, just doing so much research into the history of the towers and just getting as much knowledge into my head about Alton Towers as I could because I was being so nerdy about the the park at the time. I was just so obsessed. I just wanted to know everything. So I love the backstory of Hex. I love the Chained Oak story. I've still not yet gone to see the Chained Oak because it's not on site. It's just down the road. It just everything about the story and just the background and also the Madhouse ride itself is one of a kind. It's probably the best or one of the best madhouses in the UK, if not the world. It's absolutely world class. They give it TLC not every year, but almost every few years, and it just gets better and better and better. His sound systems in Hex at the moment are just stunning. Just all the theming in Hex is just stunning. It's just everything is just stunning about it. Yeah, can't fault it. So number 7, as you can see on my list, is Jewel. What can I say about Jewel? Well, it's a classic haunted house ghost train ride. I would say it's had better years. It's had better years with everything in itself, like the lights and how the guns used to work and the sound system and everything. But it's now starting to feel a bit old and knackered and tired. But it's one of those rides that's been at Alton House since like 1992, I think. It opened as just the Haunted Hat. Was it 92 or was it 94? I'm really confused. Or was it 98? It's one of those years. It's in the 90s. It's been at the Haunted House since like the 90s. And just as the Haunted House, and then in 2002 it became Jewel Haunted House Strikes Back, and it put in the blasters and all that kind of thing. I mean, it's had better years, but it's just one of those rides of, if you don't go on it, you don't know the full experience of Jewel. It's one of those rides that don't have a big queue line anymore, so you could probably get on and off within 5-10 minutes, if that. It's just a great ride. I think it's one of the best, if not the best, haunted house rides in the country. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying it genuinely as a ride enthusiast, a theme park enthusiast, someone who loves these kind of rides dearly, like ghost train rides dearly, because they are sit very heavily in my heart because of how traditional they are. I love traditional Victorian ghost train rides, and I think this really does top it. So as much as it's pretty much quite knackered now, go for it. It's not going to take more than 10 minutes of your day if it's got like no queue. Also, the extended queue is just beautiful, like out into the like wooded area and all the graves and all that. If the extended queue's open, go through it just so you've got the full Jewel experience. What's next? 13. I think 13 is just iconic. 13 is, again, it's not the best roller coaster in the world, but it's just iconic in its own right. Like, Alton Towers hyped it up so much in their advertising campaign as in, it's going to be like aged 15 and plus. It's a psycho coaster. It's a psych coaster. Oh, it's going to make you pretty much shit yourself. Or you have to sign a waiver to go on this ride, otherwise you might die of a heart attack. They hyped it up. It's going to be like this full-on horror roller coaster, and it just ended up not being that. And I think that's just pretty iconic in its own right. The theming of 13 is just brilliant. I was there on the year it opened, the summer, the summer of opening year, and me and Mum queuing up. We were so buzzing to go around because the queue line's so heavily themed, and inside's all heavily themed, and it's the actual queue line's like a pre-show in itself, and it's just one of a kind, really one of a kind. Like rides, again, the hidden element is a one of a kind ride element too. I don't think there's any other roller coaster that has that kind of drop element in there. There might be. Please put it down in the comments if there is. But it was the first roller coaster to do a horizontal drop. Sorry if you've not been on 13 and that's just spoiled it for you, but you should. Most people know about the surprise by now, but okay. They completely changed the entire section of Ugland to fit 13, and they changed the whole theming of Rita to fit 13. We Alton Towers went there with 13 and the theming and all that shit. We went for it. Yeah, I mean, it's up there. It's one of those rides that you can't ride anywhere else. Then okay, so number 5. Oh, I put Oblivion at number 5. Fair enough. Okay, Oblivion to me is a very short-lived ride. It's like what, 30 second to a minute odd ride. most of it is just going up the chain hill. But the reason why it's a ride that you have to go on, as in you've got dive coasters all around the world, but the thing is, you've got to ride Oblivion to say that you've been a part of this piece of like history, and you've got to say you've experienced this groundbreaking piece of fantastic history. And like all roller coaster enthusiasts have to go on it to say, look, I've done it. And a lot of roller coaster enthusiasts actually say it's their favourite ride, like in the country or the world, and so on and so forth. I think the history of Oblivion is amazing. If you really go into it, like there's a lot of YouTube videos on Oblivion and X Sector and all that kind of thing. It's just an iconic piece of metal. It's really difficult to explain why it's kind of special and why you have to go on it. Like, I haven't been talking about accessibility for Jules. Really good for accessibility. They're really good with helping you out. It's again the disabled entrance through the shop. It's really good for wheelchair users too. They'll stop the ride for you to get on and off and all that kind of thing. Jewel, fantastic. Oblivion, again, they're not too bad for accessibility as well. Can be a bit rattly at times, but the ride's really short. The worst part is the brake, because it just jolts you forward, and I'm like, oh no, I can't be dealing with that. That hurts like fuck. Yeah, so done with Oblivion. Where are we? Number four, Galactica, which used to be known as Air, is really, really special for me. Galactica was like the first or second major thrill ride I rode at Alton Towers, like the major roller coaster, both at Alton Towers and just like ever. It's one of those rides that I would say again, really fun, incredible, flying coaster, really fun flying coaster. Air, what was just great as Air, then it turned into Galactica with the VR, but now the VR doesn't exist, so it's just Air, but now renamed as Galactica, but with some extra theming. I think it's one of those rides you've got to go on it. Again, a lot of enthusiasts are quite 50-50 on it. General public love it. I love it. Enthusiasts are kind of 50-50 on it. Some people say it's uncomfortable. Some people say, oh, it's not long enough. I can agree that it's not long enough. And plus, with flying coasters, you don't experience loops like you would on other coasters, or airtime you would on other coasters. I have a lot of nostalgia with it, and because it's not incredibly fast or intense, and it's very, very smooth, I would say it's really good for younger kids and young teenagers again to go from like Runaway Mine Train and family coasters like 13. 13 is a big family coaster. It's like another one up. I would say my list of children getting into thrill rides would be kiddie coasters, junior coasters, family coasters, Runaway Mine Trains. Family coasters, Runaway Mine Trains can sit on the same level. And then something like 13, and then something like then I'd say Nemesis. Nemesis is actually not too bad for young teenagers as well. I'd say Nemesis, then oh yeah, I also forgot Wicker Man. I'd say 13, Wicker Man, Air, Nemesis, Rita. No, Oblivion than Rita, then Smiler. I would say Smiler's most intense out of the lot. Like, yeah. But yeah, going back to Galactica, there's something really special about Galactica, and I just can't put my finger on it. I think the full and experience of flying. Oh, sorry about this. It's just such a magnificent experience. Like, you just gotta do it. You just have to do it. You can't miss it out. Like, I mean, you could miss it out, but you'd be missing out on something really exciting and special. What else was next? And then the Smiler. Number 3 is the Smiler. Okay, here we go. As you can see here, what I've written here, the Smiler really is a 50-50 ride for most people. Like, when I first rode on it, I was a bit like, oh, I like it, but not too much. And then when I rode on it in the dark, I started to really enjoy it and loved it. Like, I thought, well, I thought maybe I could only enjoy it in the dark and when it was raining and all that kind of thing, like during Scarefest, because like that was an experience. It wasn't just the ride I liked; it was the experience. And but my family can't take it at all. The only members of my family who like it are like my cousins, who are my both my older and younger cousins and such, that they're the only ones who can enjoy it as well as me. It's really rare that any of my older family can sit and ride on it. Me and my uncle can go on it, but that's about it. You just really have to learn how to sit and ride the Smiler. You have to sit and learn how to ride it properly, like where you put your feet and how you position yourself and keep yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be head banging a lot, and you're going to be in a lot of pain. The Smiler can be really, really smooth at times, and it can also be really, really rough at times. I mean, it's actually, whether you're an enthusiast or not, it's beautiful. You got to go and witness it. You got to go and see it and hear the music and the theme and take photos and video. You got to do that, whether you go on it or not. You got to at least say, I saw it. It is an architectural, I can't say words today, like beauty / nightmare and dream all in one go. Like, the theming, the storyline, the music, it's just out of this world. It really is out of this world. There's no other like background for a ride, and like many rides, like IP rides, like you'd get at Disney and all that, all have their own background and all that. That's all fantastic, and all that theming's fantastic. But I think, to me, the Smiler's probably one of the only, if not the only, ride that's not an IP, which IP means intellectual property, which means intellectual property, i.e. it means it's owned by someone else. It's a ride that isn't, where the branding is owned by someone else. That's absolutely, it's the best theming that's out there for it. I'm going to go and charge my phone because I've only got 9% and I don't know how long I'm going to be talking for. But okay, so let's go to the bedroom, charge the phone.